Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and today we are doing two replays. One is in the fantastic Fubuki, and the next replay is in my most favorite battleship, the Amagi. And in this replay, it is pretty much how to show off how well destroyers can hold onto caps. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team. We are currently playing on Trap. On our team, there is a Essex, Iowa, North Carolina, Namaki, Colorado, York, ARP Ashigara, Fletcher, two Fubukis, Hatsuharu, and a Kiev. On the enemy team, there is a Taiho, Iowa, North Carolina, Tirpitz, Colorado, New Orleans, York, ARP Ashigara, Kagero, Fubuki, Mahan, and a Hatsuharu. Now, our team, majority of us spawned on the Southwest, and I am currently divisioned up with Brandon in his tier 9 US destroyer, the Fletcher, and Jay is currently in his tier 8 Fubuki, so a lot of torpedoes. Yes, and fortunately, since Brandon is in his Fletcher, we're gonna have at least some good, not good AA, good guns to fight off against any nosy destroyers that might pop into A. So we're going to move towards A. Our team pretty much is going to leave C alone. It looks like the majority of the North team is going to be moving down towards the other group of the fleets. And so we finally made our way into Cap, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on that Tirpitz. Now, like I said, destroyers, your first job, any destroyer captains, anyone that's new or has been playing a while, well, hopefully knows what I'm about to say. Your main objective should be going for caps. That should be the utmost main importance. Now, I do fire torpedoes towards that, I believe it was the Tirpitz I was aiming at, but a wild Mahan appears, and I'm currently waiting just for the right moment to where I'm detected, and ooh, good damage. Never, ever forget your Japanese destroyers have guns, because they actually have decent guns. Slow, but fairly potent. Especially against a destroyer that is not firing back at you. So the Mahan does pop smoke. It looks like we do catch a fire. His engine is out, but he's just getting currently hammered on. Now that smoke works both ways. It makes it near impossible to detect him, but it also makes me and anyone who's behind the smoke near impossible to be detected as well. But the carrier is actually north of us, and that means his planes are very close, and he does send his planes down towards us. And I do pop smoke because the carrier was going for me. As you can see, he does drop torpedoes and gives me actually more than ample opportunity to actually move out of the way. And the Fubuki has decent acceleration, especially with the acceleration mod. Now here's kind of a mistake that I would probably recommend altering. Is one, I do fire torpedoes once again, and two, don't always fire in where the designated line is. Sometimes you want to make a wall of torpedoes, especially with this far distance away, and it's also very possible that any enemy ships will maneuver, and then all your torpedoes are for naught. Fortunately for us, or slightly unfortunately for us, the Iowa does dodge the torpedoes. The planes did spot them, so, and now they're definitely spotted by the Iowa. Which I don't understand how the North Carolina was still able to get hit by one of my torpedoes. Not really sure how, but he does. Fortunately, we do get a torpedo hit, and I was using my guns the entire time I was in smoke. Don't forget, use your guns. Their guns are good. Now, but at this time, it's a good time to actually move away, because the Iowa captain was actually very close to our position, and don't really want to get spotted, but it does look like Jay took the Iowa down with his torpedoes. Very nice job. And hopefully we can get a kill here soon. Now, my aim is currently on the North Carolina, and I have to say, I like the North Carolina's username. The Giggity Warrior. Thumbs up. And so we do fire our spread, and you can see just how easily destroyers can hold a cap while only battleships are around. Even a carrier can't really do much, especially if destroyers are laying down smoke. Now our torpedoes are looking pretty good, and hopefully we can get maybe one or two. Jay does fire torpedoes right in front of me, scared me for a second. But 2 torpedoes land on that North Carolina and takes him out. Now this poor Tirpitz captain is all alone. And let's see how long he lasts. He's very low on health. Torpedoes are coming in from Brandon, from his Fletcher. Watch how quickly his health melts. Looks like Brandon does a really fantastic job taking out the enemy Tirpitz, and oh, I currently was not paying attention, and I do run into the friendly Iowa. Sorry, but with that all taken care of, the enemy CV has resupplied his planes and is currently going in for a drop against the Iowa. Now, I don't know. Looks like the Iowa, yes, it looks like he is starting to try to dodge. He's starting to go to port, but it looks like he actually does stop. Because here comes the torpedoes. Looks like that looks very far away. I don't know. I don't play CV very often, but that looked like very far away. I don't know if that was a manual or automatic drop. But the Iowa captain does survive with very low health, and the Taiho actually moved in close just to get his planes in faster. But our friendly CV and his Essex does take out the enemy CV, which is great news for us because now we don't have to worry about any issues with pesky planes coming above. Now, all that's left down at A is the New Orleans and the enemy Fubuki. But if you do notice that the enemy team has taken control of both B and C, but we're still doing really well as far as ships are concerned. We have the majority of our ships. We've only lost a cruiser and a destroyer, while they've lost their carrier, 3 battleships, and a destroyer. And most of those battleships were the top tier, the Iowa, the Tirpitz, and the North Carolina. Which is not good for them because we still have our top tier battleships still around. Now do keep in mind that New Orleans would not go down for some odd reason. Probably due to damage saturation. But it did take the New Orleans quite a bit of time just to go down. But eventually does. And Brandon is doing a fantastic job in his Fletcher. He's currently moving north to actually root out the enemy Fubuki. And here I'm trying to help the friendly Iowa by laying down smoke. Looks like he does take 1 torpedo in the rear section of the ship, but should hopefully be able to repair that. He's probably had enough time for his damage control to come back up. But with that all done, we've given them plenty of time to repair. Should be able to come back and help. Now, the enemy Fubuki does pop back up, and pretty much right now, all this is just a slaughter. I feel really bad, but once again, I don't. The majority of their team are the destroyers and 1 lonely Colorado. I feel bad for the Colorado because although it gets a lot of hate, I mean, it's not a terrible ship, but its speed is its basically major issue. It's very slow for its tier, but decent guns, but very slow. So the Colorado has made all its way down to B and probably will not last for very much longer. I do fire torpedoes at the enemy Colorado, but I realize the enemy Garo is currently trying to go after our friendly CV. And we shall not have that. So we're going to try to take him out as quickly as possible. Now we do lose our friendly North Carolina from the enemy Colorado. But the Colorado does go down fairly quickly. So this game is pretty much going to be just clean up crew on the destroyers. Get a decent hit on the Kagero. We set a fire, knocked out his engine. He's not going to survive very much longer, especially with our Essex keeping the fighter right above him. The only way he'd be able to escape would be smoke, but then it comes down to not being able to see anything, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation either way. Now the Kagero does fire torpedoes. Can we take out this enemy Kagero? Oh, he's very low health. And we do get the kill due to that fire. Fantastic. Now all that's left on the enemy team is the Hatsuharu and the Fubuki. Which, can you guess what's gonna happen? Yeah. All the enemy destroyers are going to die. Brandon just took down the Fubuki. But the enemy Kagero actually gets the ARP Ashigara, which is rather weird because the torpedoes on the Kagero were spotted by the friendly CV. Don't know really why or how that happened, but anyways, this is going to be it for this replay. All that's left is hunting down the enemy Hatsuharu, and Brandon and his Fletcher does a fantastic job taking him out. So I will see you guys in the next replay. Alright everyone, welcome back to the next replay in the Amagi, and there's been a slight, I don't want to say bug, but sometimes you spawn on top of your friendly ships. As you just saw, we spawned right on top of our friendly Kutuzov. And so we are currently playing on Trident with the game mode of Epicenter, which is so much fun. I actually don't mind the game mode. I think it is a great idea. I think it is fun, especially if you have the ship designed for it. If you don't have a really good ship, it kind of comes an issue. Now, on our team, we have a Shikaku, Tirpitz, Amagi, Colorado, New Mexico, Bian, Kutuzov, Nuremberg, Fubuki, Mahan, Farragut, and a Mutsuki. On the enemy team, there is a Lexington, North Carolina, Tirpitz, Scharnhorst, Dunkirk, Fuso, Magami, Pensacola, Bajani, Fubuki, Sims, and a Farragut. I love the Amagi, and I don't understand why people give so much hate towards the Amagi. Maybe due to the fact that she's more of a battle cruiser, and her armor isn't as thick as the North Carolina. But if you play her right, she does a fantastic job, as you will see. So, as usual, the whole game mode is designed to be in the center and controlling the center. So that's what we're going to do. Now I do take a pot shot at the Pensacola. It looks like we do miss, which is highly unfortunate. And for some odd reason, we become the focus target of the Bajani, the Pensacola, and eventually the Sims, as you will see, which will become very annoying. So, our team is doing alright. We are pushing in. We do take a pot shot at the enemy Fuso, and I feel bad because he actually looks like he has not got the upgraded hull and is probably currently working on his Fuso. Keep going, Mr. Greybeard. You're going to get a fantastic ship once she's upgraded. Now, we're on fire, and as usual, when you're a battleship, just let the fire burn. You can heal off of that. There's no shame in burning from one fire. Just let it burn. I still love the Amagi. I know I'm saying this way too much, and I've had people ask me, how do you play the Amagi? It's such a hard ship. It can be. It can be. But we do take a shot at that Bajani, misjudge his speed, went a little forward, do damage his gun, but get about 3,000 points of damage against him. Not bad. And now you can see that the enemy Sims has kind of taken on himself to constantly fire at me. This is where it becomes excruciatingly painful just to deal with that Sims. But we'll see how long this lasts. Now we do take a shot at the Megami. Get over penetration. not the greatest shot in the world, but hopefully it will get better. Our team is currently fighting off. It looks like the Mahan's actually supporting the Kutuzov. Our friend, who is actually Brandon, is in his Kutuzov. And once again, we are getting fired at by the enemy Sims. Oh, my word. We're going to be ablazed quite a bit during this match. So get kind of used to the whole fire alarm. Now, the enemy team is currently moving on the east-hand side of the map. And this is where I think they kind of make a mistake. They don't really push in per se. They kind of make a mistake of pushing further south than they really should have. But, well, you'll see. So we take a shot at the enemy Fuso, get 3 penetrations, and do about 14,000 points of damage. I feel bad. I really do feel bad for that Fuso. But Brandon does take a torpedo for me. I do not actually take one, which I thank you, Brandon. And here's North Carolina Captain showing broadside backing up. Oh, God. Oh, you know what's going to happen. Yep, Citadel. I love the Amagi. Now, the Amagi, what's fantastic is she has great guns, and she has 10 of them. And when all firing at the same time, really can decimate people. Now, this Megami is showing a broadside. Currently moving south. Don't exactly know why. The Pensacola just goes down to our friend in his Kutuzov. And salvo's out. Survey says 2 Citadels, 1 dead Megami. So we get a devastating strike. Not bad. We're doing really well. Now, as you can tell, the enemy team is not doing so hot. They've lost 2 cruisers and 2 battleships. They've lost their Fuso and their Turpits. Wow, the Turpits went down very early, which is not good for them. Now, here's the classic Dunkirk backing up maneuver. And this is where I actually kind of have an issue. I do lose partial connection just due to lag. So there's going to be a little bit of slowdown. Not much I can do about that. Do a salvo against the enemy Dunkirk. Do about 8,000 points of damage. Not bad. Unfortunately, we were able to dodge those torpedoes from that Fubuki. That Fubuki is going to become dangerous if he stays around. Now, the enemy carrier does try to go for me, but our friendly carrier is doing a fantastic job on taking out the enemy planes. And I was really hoping I could shoot at that Sean Force, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And there's that Lexington. Oh, he's so tempting to shoot at, but he's just outside of our range. But there's that North Carolina Captain. Might as well fire. We do get lit up once again by 2 fires from the dive bombers, and the Sims is back firing at us. He really must want my body or something, because he constantly is firing at me. And oh, we do get a torpedo hit, but fortunately one of the torpedoes did not activate, which is a good thing, because that could have been more damage, and we don't want to lose as much health this mid-game. We want to stay around. We want to do more damage. Now at this point, I think it's going to be good if we could try to survive, but as you just saw there, the enemy frigate made his way down and actually took out our enemy CV. Now normally this would be a very bad situation for our team, because the friendly CV keeps us alive from the enemy CV, taking out his planes, taking out other ships. But we lost our friendly CV fairly early. Now normally I would say this would come back to haunt us, but it doesn't, which is very surprising. Don't exactly know why, but we actually do survive this. So we're gonna try to sneak up on this Bajani. The Bajani has his eyes focused on the friendly Colorado. Now, we have not been spotted for a little while. We're not going to be spotted probably until we get around this island. There we are. We were spotted by planes. The Bajani should realize that there is another enemy battleship just to the left of him. Probably doesn't want to turn because of the Colorado, but that means Citadel galore for me. 2 Citadels, devastating strike. That makes the second kill of the game, and we're sitting at 112,194 points of damage. And I will say, we are not finished. Oh no, we're not finished at all. So, we have lost our carrier, we've lost our cruiser and one of our destroyers, and the enemy team isn't really doing that good of a job pushing in. Now, the battleships are the issues. The destroyers are doing a fantastic job. Both the Sims, the Fubuki, and I think there's also the Farragut that's still around. Both the Sims and the Fubuki have been around. They have been firing torpedoes. They have been a constant bother. And they've prevented us from actually capturing the epicenter all the way. Now, here, I'm going to start moving in towards Dunkirk. I don't want to fire him because he is bow on, and more than likely will not do that much damage. Yes, we may get penetration, over penetration through the front of his hull, but there's more susceptible targets that will require our attention. So we're gonna kind of move our way. Hopefully we can do some more damage. And this enemy Dunkirk is doing that classic. I mean, I like the idea of the Dunkirk. I really do. I think it looks like a fantastic ship. I really would love to buy it, but once again, it just comes down to the Scharnhorst and being disappointed. Now, our back guns, we do fire at the North Carolina. He's very low on health. It looks like he is currently trying to heal, but he goes down. That is the 3rd kill of the game. Very, very nice. And the team's actually about even. They have 3 destroyers, 2 battleships, and the carrier. We only have 2 destroyers and battleships. Our friend Brandon did go down in his enemy, in his Kutuzov, which I still have to say I dislike the Kutuzov. Not because of the bad ship, just because the fires galore. So, once again, we have become the infatuated target of the enemy Sims, and ooh, there's a low health Fubuki. Probably not thinking a battleship would fire at him. Oh, let's see what happens. Over penetration takes out the enemy Fubuki. I did not want him around because those torpedoes. Yep, he did fire a spread of torpedoes towards us. Fortunately, we saw him in time that we did slow up and turn in. Now, I don't want to constantly be moving towards this Dunkirk. I'd rather be moving a little bit south, maybe help take out the Scharnhorst. And here, I'm currently waiting on the Dunkirk to fire his next salvo, and then I'll start turning. And this will allow me to get away with showing off broadside to a enemy battleship. And this is kind of something you have to keep in mind, is when to turn and when not to turn, because if you turn too early, you're just going to get citadeled and possibly even die from that. So always keep in mind when their salvo is being fired and when you can turn. But as you can see, we have taken full control of the epicenter, so things are not looking good for the enemy team. Not good at all. Now, the Lexington is doing a good job. Lexington does take out our friendly Bayern, and we have sights on the enemy Scharnhorst. I wonder how much longer he's going to last. Looks like he does heal, and can we take him out? Oh, so close to dying. So close. We got over penetrations all the way, which is highly unfortunate. It looks like he does open fire at us, but Jay and his turrets does take out the enemy Scharnhorst. Fantastic. Good job, Jay. And now, since we did move away, the Dunkirk is no longer concerned with us. Instead, he's bow on towards the enemy, or the friendly Colorado. keep saying enemy, the friendly Colorado, which allows us to actually get more decent penetrations against his sides. Now, here is something I would say the enemy team probably should have done better. The battleships on their team should have pushed in a little bit more and should have kind of try to keep control, because their destroyers were doing a fantastic job actually being a bothersome to our team. Now that salvo, we just killed and took down the enemy Dunkirk, which granted us Kraken Unleashed, the 5th kill of the game. Fantastic. And now there's the enemy Farragut. This enemy Farragut did take out our friendly CV, and I think we should avenge him. I think that would be a very, very smart idea. So, with this in mind, and this is dangerous because the Farragut has decent torpedoes. Not the greatest in the world, but they're okay. They're not very long range. Now, whenever you're going up against a destroyer like I'm about to, have high explosive, because high explosive does good damage. Now, the Farragut does fire torpedoes. Looks like it's actually going towards the friendly battleship in the New Mexico. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Will this hit? Now, the New Mexico is not a fast ship. And we do get Confederate due to secondaries. And nope, missed. I'm assuming that's what he was going for. But doesn't look like that's really worked out in his favor. Now, Jay does point out, stop bragging, because, yeah, I'm doing really well, and I don't mean to sound like I'm patting myself on my own back, but this game was really good, really fantastic. Now, here's another dangerous aspect of destroyer hunting: chasing a destroyer into smoke, because smoke allows them to stay hidden, as well as drop torpedoes, and torpedoes can become bothersome, especially if you are being detected by the enemy CV. So, good idea is stay bow on and do not turn broadside, because more than likely you'll just run into torpedoes. Now, the Farragut does fire torpedoes, misses us completely. And you can see here, I'm just trying to figure out where he is. I'm getting really annoyed by this. And I figure out this time, let's bring all our guns to bear. Because this is the wonderful thing about the Amagi. It has 10 guns, but at least 6 of them are going to be in the back. And yeah, unfortunately there's an island, so I can't do that. Gotta turn the other way. Can we take out this enemy Farragut and avenge our friendly cruise carrier? Salvo and high caliber, 6th kill of the game with a damage of 145,399. Whew, this was a good and fantastic game. I love the Amaki. I highly recommend it to anyone going up the Japanese line. I know some people hate it, but give it a try, because I love her so much. So all that's left on the enemy team is the enemy Lexington, but as you can see, we are gaining points at 6. Looks like actually about 9 points per 2-3 seconds, something like that. So we're going to end this off fairly quickly. I will see you at the victory screen. So, of course, we got a victory due to the points adding up, and we earned 362,165 silver, 4,979 XP, and 249 free XP. We got Fireproof, Confederate, High Caliber, Kraken Unleashed, 2 devastating strikes. We caused 145,399 points of damage, 49 shell hits, 6 plane shots down, 2 incapacitation, 6 kills, 5 citadels, 2 assisted base caps, and 6 secondary hits. And of course we earned top of the experience with a base XP of 2,141. Jay came in second with 1,840, and Brandon came with 1,280. Good job, guys. So you can see the damage to the North Carolina was 31,985. Mogami, about the same. Dunkirk, 23,000. Bajani, 23,000. And the Farragut, 5,597. And I love the power of the Amagi. She's such a fantastic battleship. I know I keep gushing about her, but I love the Amagi. So after everything is said and done, after all the repairs and stuff spent, we earned 186,528 silver and 4,979 XP. Fantastic. And I probably should also point out that the World of Warships Wargaming gave out dragon flags, which give your captains additional bonuses of 333%, which my captain received 10,696 from that flag alone, which granted him 17,442 XP. Wow. So yes, this is going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday, and thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jin.